something with yellow belly, actually.
Maybe.
Flash of red, maybe?
I think it might just be being lit by dogs. So, this morning we are taking a little sunrise bushwalk. Woke up super early this morning. They said first light was supposed to be at 5:30, but I don't believe that because it was actually, sorry, because it was already pretty bright when I woke up at 5:09. But it's beautiful. It's freezing here, not to be underestimated, but we are now walking around and trying to find some nocturnal nightlife, going back to sleep or walking away, or maybe some diurnal ones waking up. So let's go check it out.
See any tracks on the hunt?
See a lot of poop.
Yeah, my name's Nick Sutherland. Grew up here on the property in Spices Creek. 26 years old. Basically, the whole idea behind creating Budgalong was to sort of share sort of our love for the land. Like growing up on the farm, days were out spent exploring and out in the wilderness, and then moving to Sydney. Pretty quickly got caught up in the hustle and bustle of city life and realised how many people had never experienced what we had back at home, and just thought it was something we needed to share with the rest of the world, just that simple, slow, Australian country lifestyle. Yeah, so the core values for us, we're sort of all centred around growing good, healthy soils. Basically starts in the soil, balancing the macro and micronutrients in the soil, which then feeds a good, healthy plant, and then that feeds good, healthy livestock, which then feeds the population. So that's kind of our philosophy of farming. Sustainability on the farm kind of looks a bit different to what some people might think of it as, but we have self-replacing flocks where we breed our own herds, and we run the smaller mobs and rotate them around the paddocks to maintain ground cover and things like that, and that's sort of what sustainability looks like for us.
Yeah, so we just got super lucky. We wanted to see them wrangle up the cattle and move them to a different paddock pretty much. And so it's done with an ATV and this adorable Kelpie that's just kind of like wrangling everybody, all the little lambs and sheep over there. But the Kelpie has just been like running around and just like barking at them to scare them into a certain area. And it's been incredibly adorable to watch. This is the little doggy if you can see him. Hello! So yesterday, Nick brought us around the bee sanctuary that they have here. They make all their own honey and it's amazing. He said that they have this one population of bees that is like that their bee farmer or beekeeper pretty much raised, and that they are just like a genetically distinct population of these bees, and they're doing really, really, really well, which is awesome. And so that's kind of what's over here in the background where everybody's hanging out. Those are all the little beehives and whatnot. And then just here on this tree is actually a wild population of bees, interestingly. So completely different than the ones that are back there. You can kind of see it from here. Oop. This is, that is a wild population of bees. And just over there is the curated population that are genetically distinct and healthy. Yeah, there they are. Not sure how close I want to get to them, but pretty cool to see that. Look at that.
Hi, Rob Sutherland, and I'm the owner of this conglomerate of properties of 7,000 acres, and I've been born and bred here. Parents bought here in the late 50s, and yeah, I've grown up here and been a farmer all my life. A lot of Australia is very old, very old. This stone's 440 million. So that's when that Devonian era was forming. That's a long time ago. So we've been exposed, and we're one of the oldest continents exposed.
And he was not kidding. What I did not know before I came to this trip was that I would be standing on ancient coral reefs that were around in the Devonian era when sharks emerged in the fossil record 450 million years ago. I mean, this little museum was actually just a quick trip from Budgalong Lodge, which is just so wild to me that there's such natural history everywhere that you go here in Australia, being one of the oldest continents. I mean, this museum was so cool. I'm actually standing right now underneath, I think, the largest marsupial that ever walked the earth. And like out back was this fossil trail walk that you could take. You could literally go check out tabulate corals and all these crazy coral skeletons that were around 450 million years ago. So this was such a highlight of my stay. According to this little piece of paper, the chambered nautilus or the nautiloids from the Devonian period are actually quite similar to the nautiloids that we have today, except they grew their shells in a straight line instead of curling them like the nautilus that you see when people do deep sea expeditions. So now we have this beautiful rock right here, and there are tiny tabulate coral skeletons in here, which is referred to as the species either Favosites or Flavosites. It is spelled two different ways. All right, so we are here at Budgalong Farm, and this is our tent, which is insane because it's fully a house. There's just so much here. And then we got this cute little note. Now, continuing with our tent tour, this is the kitchen and living room space, which is absolutely stunning. And over here we have a indoor ethanol-based fireplace, which is so beautiful at night or like first thing in the morning. It's actually pretty cold at night here, so this is how you kind of heat up the entire inside area, and then you have literally a ceiling fan inside of this tent. Then we have a full kitchen. Got a little tiny dishwasher, little tiny fridge, little tiny oven, 2 top stoves. Reed just made a pile of pancakes, so I'll take one of these to go. Then you can check out our bedroom, which was this. Seriously, it was I think this is my new dream bedroom. And what was super duper cute is that they gave us these wool like hot water bottles because it does get really cold at night, like I mentioned. But these are just so good to like cuddle, and they're literally made out of super nice soft wool, which I'm sure they got from their own sheep here. We also have these electric heating bed pads, which is simply the most luxurious thing I've ever experienced. You just crank that thing up to 3 and you just don't want to get out of bed, and it's so amazing and beautiful. These are also, we've been using these hats in all the videos, so if you see them, they're actually their hats, but they came with it. Now we enter the bathroom, which is so nice. Oh my god, that's not a wall. I keep forgetting. Yeah, like seriously, such a massive, amazing shower, adorable robes, and a great view. And what I really love about this room is that in the afternoon, the sun starts to set over this way, and it literally heats up the entire room, and it turns this entire wall orange. So you get like kind of this mood lighting while you shower. It feels like you're in a sauna. Then of course we have that insane 365 degree view of farmland and bushland. So beautiful. Let's go down to the campfire. Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
It feels
Very
done.
hot. Budgalong. Notes and reflections. My stress levels are noticeably down after 3 days of nature with no phone. It is really a nice feeling. No guilt or pressure to respond to people or to even need to know what is going on. I also noticed how tranquil and almost magical it felt to be alone in the bush at sundown. I just ran into a kangaroo. It had a little Joey in its pouch. It felt like I was in a magical pixie fairyland almost. It was so ethereal and magical. I almost felt like if I followed a wallaby long enough, I would have ended up in my own Australian version of Alice in Wonderland.
I know they caramelize pretty well. Do you guys like it more caramelized? But up to you.
Get out and see what we've got, because we've got a great country.